بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا.
This disease is a result of arrogance most of the times. It's a disease that is very common, and we all generally suffer from this disease. But unlike arrogance, it's a disease that you cannot hide. In most of the situations, it would be seen on you. And Shaitan then plays another trick. With arrogance, he made us feel you are not arrogant. You are humble, you are kind, you are nice. But with this disease, because we cannot hide it, Shaitan plays another trick with us. And that is, makes us proud of this disease. And you see people who are really proud of having this disease, whereas it's an extremely destructive disease. It's a disease that led most of the people, we can say more than 90% of the people that are in prison, and it's not a small number of people that are in prisons. More than 90% of people that are in prison are there because of this disease. Most of the cases in the courts are due to this disease. People are disliked and they don't like others because of this disease. It's a disease that destroys the person internally, physically, and spiritually. It's an amazing thing. It's a disease that destroys you internally, physically. It destroys your health, as well as it destroys you spiritually. It destroys your iman. It destroys a person's connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is anger. And unfortunately, most of the people in our time, they have no control over their anger. Especially at a time when you know you can get it out. That's the real time when you show your anger. Children with their mothers, you know that you can tell her anything. So now there is no need to control the anger. Just take it out. And we see how children treat their mothers in our time, especially when they're angry. That's the time when you really need to show who you are. That's the time when you need to show what Islam teaches you about your mother. That's the time when you need to prove that you have control over yourself and you have respect for your mother. But normally that's the time when people lose it. And they don't want to control it. They don't even want to control it. And finally you get to the age where you know that even your father won't be able to tell you anything. So now you say whatever you want to your dad. And at that time you have it in your mind, if he will say something back to me, I'll tell him I don't want to see your face again. I'm leaving. Then it comes to the situation of husband and wife. You know you can take it out on her. So why should I control? And many times the question is, how much should I control? Every day is the same situation. I told her so many times. I explained to her every day. Abu Mas'ud al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu, a well-known Sahabi who joined the Battle of Badr. He says, once I was punishing my slave. The hadith is in Sahih Muslim. I was punishing my slave. And I heard someone telling me, "I'lam Aba Mas'ud, I'lam Aba Mas'ud, Abu Mas'ud, beware, Abu Mas'ud, beware. You should know what you're doing. Be careful." He said, I could not recognize that voice out of anger. I was so angry that I didn't know who's calling me, who's talking to me. And I just said, while I'm punishing my slave, I said to that person, "Leave me alone." And then I looked back. It was Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As soon as I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I cooled down. I said, "Ya Rasulullah, what should I do?" I always tell them, I explain to them, they do this intentionally. How many times do you want me to forgive them, Ya Rasulullah? Subhanallah, it's a statement that shows his anger. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, rather than trying to figure out what the situation is, what did they do, what did you tell them, he took it from there on. He said, forgive them as many times as you want Allah to forgive you.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما